Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome in to the End of the Bench. I'm Rob Breaux alongside David Collier. Lucas White in the building as well. As always, we're on the First United Bank studio. You can call in today on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. You can also hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. As you do so, well, we'll have a lot to talk about today. Illinois and the Balkan Olympic team beating Texas Tech last night by 4. Now, depending on what book and when you got it, Texas Tech covered last night in a true road game. And I saw some stats like, not only was this the first time in forever that Texas Tech went on the road to a Power 4 team this early in the season, a true road game, it's also been years since the Big 12 had a true road Power 4 game.
Even Kansas? Well, yeah.
They do all their Champions Classics and all that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Big 12 teams don't play other Power 4 conferences early in the season. They do. In fact, Kansas plays Duke and Michigan State. And
it's all neutral site stuff.
Yeah, it's all neutral site. So, really impressive scheduling. Maybe too aggressive for this season. You would love to see Bamboye back. I
don't know if he would. I wonder if he would have helped in that game because it seemed like everyone. Did it not look like you mentioned it? You mentioned an Olympic team. Did it not look body size wise? Did it not look like a professional team against a college team?
They were huge.
Every single one of them,
and they had a 7-footer out.
Yeah, I was about to say the other what's his name?
Tomislav
Iovich. Yeah, Tomislav Iovich or whatever. Yeah. But they were just
Illinois is good.
They are good. That's what
Illinois is good. Illinois is big.
And they were
Boswell and Stojakovic are a really good combo of guards, and they're not the only ones.
If anybody's frustrated about that game, take away the fact that Illinois is going to be a problem for a lot of people this year.
I would have liked to have seen Bamboye, but I don't know that he would have won the game for you.
I think if you put Bamboye in there and their other 7-footer, I don't think it changes much. I just don't.
No, I think
you just
you
need
probably
to become more threes.
Still lose by 3 or 4. Maybe it's lower, maybe it's higher. JT Toppin playing like the National Player of the Year.
Exactly, yeah.
Really, really good. We'll talk about that basketball game more as we go along today. You also last night had Texas Tech football leapfrogging Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels to get to 6 in the college football playoff rankings. And apparently there was discussions to also jump Georgia and be number 5.
Yeah.
The 2 longest conversations it seemed like to Mack Rhodes in the committee were Indiana Ohio State at 1-2. Indiana A&M, I guess, at 2-3. And then Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Georgia, that kind of trio. And then I guess Alabama's firm at 4.
Until this weekend.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I know.
That would be awesome.
I want to hear Bullfighter cheering for Oklahoma this weekend.
So it is an interesting revelation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it was just that Ole Miss played the Citadel, but I think that had something to do with it.
I think that had something to do with it.
And I think that's a big reason that the SEC is going to complain about stuff this year, but their actions are saying, yeah, we're not doing that anymore because next year we're going to 9 conference games.
Yeah. I will follow that up with they were playing the Citadel, and this week you're playing UCF.
Which is a conference game that you cannot get around.
That is not a good football team.
And a 50-point favorite versus a 24-point favorite.
I get that. Okay, and then the next week you will be playing at West Virginia where you will be a 25-point favorite on the road.
maybe, yeah.
I'm saying you won a game impressive against a top 3 Big 12 team and got the bump that you deserved.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that you're getting the bump with your next 2 wins. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I don't know that you'll fall per se.
No, I don't think you will fall.
Because Ole Miss finishes with who is it? Somebody at Mississippi State.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other one.
Kentucky, Florida.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Florida.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Florida.
So that might.
Yeah, Florida.
For whatever reason, that might help them. They might just lose that game anyway.
I don't know. I keep hearing about Florida's a good win, but they're 3-6.
You know what I found humorous whenever Mac Rhodes was talking about why Texas Tech wasn't a 5 or a 4? It was because of the offense.
Specifically the red zone offense, and he brought up Baron Morton's health.
Yes,
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. But still, the red zone offense was an issue, right?
Yes, has been, yeah.
It has been, right? But if your offense is the reason, you probably might want to check where they're ranked in the nation in scoring offensively.
That's one thing I am having trouble kind of rectifying in my head, right? Because, yes, the red zone offense has been bad, at least not to the level of a contender, right? Scoring touchdowns. Not the red zone offense, period, because you kicked a lot of field goals.
According
finishing drives.
Yes, according to Reese Davis, the most red zone field goals in the nation.
So you're finishing drives with field goals instead of touchdowns.
Yeah.
But you're getting there, right?
Yeah.
You're getting to the red zone. The offense has not been bad by any means. In fact, in the complete season, you're the number 2 scoring offense in the Big 12, and nationally, a very high-rated scoring offense.
According to the NCAA website, you have the 4th best scoring offense in the country, which would also equal first unless one of these other teams moved to the Big 12 in the last. Indiana, North Texas, and Tennessee.
Well, is that where's Utah? Oh, maybe I was looking at conference-only numbers.
Yeah, you were probably looking at conference. Utah is tied for 7th. But
conference-only, Utah is like a 1.5 ahead of you.
Yeah, so in conference play it has dropped, but name many schools out there that their scoring average hasn't dropped in conference play. Everybody.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Texas.
But just imagine if you were finishing those drives, David.
Oh, I know. You would be number 4, more than likely.
Well, you might be number 3. Because if you're finishing drives against Arizona State, you wouldn't have lost.
Yep, that's true. It
just feels like such a nitpicky thing.
Yesterday Choice was on the radio complaining about not moving up more than one spot, and I was like, listen to yourself, dude. You've been in the college football playoff rankings 1 week, and you're complaining that you're not ranked high enough and you're going to be at least 7th. Shut up.
Well, we'll have to ask Choice if he was happy he moved up 2 spots.
He was, because I made sure to poke the bear whenever I got here.
The Baylor Bear.
Yes.
More after this. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench. The headlines, highlights, whatever it is.
Radio.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. My mind is broken.
I know, it broke my mind too.
100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench. What was that, Softball America? What was that?
No, D1 softball.
D1 softball.
Yeah, I'm still confused by it as well. But
ranking Texas Tech's high school recruiting class at 34th for 2026.
And this is players that will sign today who are seniors who graduate after the 25-26 school year to join their teams in the fall of 2026.
So we should be able to go to the Texas Tech softball or Oklahoma softball or Tennessee softball pages and start learning these girls' names.
Yes, but keep in mind you can also sign in April because there are 2 windows for these sports. This is the early signing.
But this will be freshmen in
next year.
26, 27.
Yes, correct.
So why is that not the 27 class?
Because the calendar year starts the 26th.
So the 25 class is the one you just
that is on campus right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense. I mean,
sure. Yeah.
It's for the academic/athletic calendar year. So
now, all these transfers you just got. It's funny in softball. You kind of expect those players to exhaust their eligibility. Because there's not a lot of opportunities beyond that.
Yeah.
Like in football, if you're going after All-Americans and whatever else, it's like, all right, you might get them for a year. And then hopefully, send them to the NFL draft because they've had a successful year.
Yeah.
In college basketball, you go get a freshman All-American, right? And you're like, all right, hopefully we get him for a year. And then send him off to the NBA draft. But in softball, you just went and got a bunch of sophomores and juniors. And you probably have the expectation you'll do that again. So, I don't know. That's interesting. But Texas Tech listed at 34th.
34th. But then if
and
you put the transfer.
One service.
Yeah. But if you put a transfer class up there.
Well, and
then they would be.
Well, you haven't gotten that transfer class.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying once we get a transfer class, I'm sure. But like you said, you've got a lot of people with multiple years of eligibility left. Right. You might not need to fill up, and it might be you're a little more selective when you're ranked number 1 preseason in the country with that type of stuff. If you know you're going to have them for a couple of years.
More than one way to skin a cat, there, David.
Yes, sir.
Let's check the calendar here, Lucas.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
It's National Happy Hour Day. National French Dip Day. You a fan of the French dip?
I think I'll eat it, but very, very little. I mean, just small quantities, a couple chips. Just say, I had some French dip for the first time in years.
No, this is not that French dip, the sandwich.
Oh.
The roast beef, onion, Swiss cheese.
Yeah, yes, that absolutely.
The au jus.
The au jus, yes, I love the au jus. I will get that at a particular place, eat that, and then take the rest of the au jus and put it on the baked potato.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
At the Green Arches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Green Arches, yes.
That's what we used to call it in Athens, Texas. It's National Pizza with the Works except for Anchovies Day, which seems very specific.
Well, just to clarify.
Yeah, this is the works, but no anchovies.
Because nobody in their right mind is throwing anchovies on a pizza. Sorry.
It is American Fancy Rat and Mouse Day. We had a class pet rat in the 4th grade. Did y'all ever have a class pet?
No, not that I'm aware of. I think there's a class pet at my son's high school in one of the classes, though. I think it was a snake.
I had a guinea pig.
Guinea pigs, yeah. We had some snakes going through school. The rat was in 4th grade. We had a ferret named Frisky in one of the classrooms. It burrowed into a couch, and a large student sat on it. I think that one was named Baby, in remembrance of Baby the ferret. It's also Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. Did you ever read those? No. Chicken Soup for the Soul?
No. Do I seem like a person that's reading that?
Did you ever read Chicken Soup for the Soul? Do you know what that is?
Yes.
No.
I know what it is. I don't know if he was answering which question there.
It's a book of stories. Like feel good, Chicken Soup for the Soul kind of stories.
Okay.
Do I seem like the kind of guy that was reading that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you're a little more upbeat, positive guy. No.
Yeah, I read them.
Yeah.
I loved them, actually. And then there was like Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul, Chicken Soup for the Sports Soul.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Soul, that type of stuff. Yeah. Did you read those as well?
No. No, those were, I think those were past.
They were past.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I was a little older than that. Any birthdays, Lucas? I'm going to go find a chicken soup for the soul quote.
Sammy Sosa is his birthday today. He turns 57. Then we have Dexter Lawrence turning 28. Naheem Hines turning 29. Neil Young, 80. Then we have Wallace Shawn turning 82. Paulo Banchero turning 23. Russell Westbrook turning 37. Anne Hathaway, 43. And Ryan Gosling, 45.
On this day in 1920, gentlemen, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis was elected the first commissioner of baseball.
Landis.
1977, Billy Taylor rushes for 127 yards, and Rodney Allison scores a touchdown as well. In number 18, Texas Tech's win over SMU 45-7. They improved to 7-2 in that win. On this day in 2019, former Astros pitcher Mike Fiers, is that how you say it? Fiers? Revealed that his former team secretly stole signs via cameras from visiting teams from 2015 to 2017, intercepting comms between pitchers and catchers and then relaying those to batters. Whatever happened after that. And in entertainment news on this day, 1999, Dogma made its debut in movie theaters, and in 2008, Slumdog Millionaire. It's a very light day in all histories. The French Dip probably won out of all of that. Right?
I don't think I've ever seen Slumdog Millionaire.
I haven't.
That was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
The only thing, like, I'll listen to the podcast that we, or the trivia thing that we do, they have a contest every year at some point. I listen to it, and anytime you go some weird way to get to your answer, they always say you Slumdog Millionaire that to get the correct answer. So I'm guessing he just connects dots like crazy in the show to get to his answers. I've never seen it either. It was a very successful movie, though. No?
Apparently.
It's no chicken soup for your soul, but have you found the quote yet?
Well, it's like too long to read.
I don't know. We've got
It'd be like a full segment.
30 seconds here. Just pick the best words.
Here's one about Big Ed.
There we go.
A large, rumbly man with a rumbling voice. Maybe we'll do that in the second hour. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. On the ESPN Game Day number that was put out yesterday, that number does not include ESPN app stream. Someone asked under the tweet. So bigger than 2 million, plus the 2 million on Twitter, which the Twitter viewership numbers are strange. If you open that window, you're at it.
Yeah.
So 2 million people looked at it.
Yeah.
But still, that's a big number. And it wasn't on. So last week McAfee did that on his account, and a lot of people watched it, like 1.5. And then I believe this week it was on the actual X sports account.
Yes, it was.
And 2 million people watch that. I have no idea how many people follow that sports account.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I had never seen it before.
Yeah, I didn't know that was
But I was scrolling back on McAfee's feed to see how many people looked at it on Twitter, and that came up.
I remember him saying on this show that week that it was going to be on X, streaming on X, by X.
This texter says, less people watched UCF Baylor than were at our game. That's insanely bad. Wow. I did not put that into context.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, there was probably, how many college football games do you think had more than 50,000 people this weekend? 50? Probably less than that. With bye
probably
weeks and
less.
whatnot.
Yeah.
That is strikingly bad. And that's not an ESPN Plus number. That is ESPNU. Which, that's like the periphery channel that nobody's talking about, like with YouTube TV. Like, not only are the big ones getting a hit, but that one is taking a massive hit.
I would like to see
that was like a James Madison number.
Yeah.
I mean, that is bad.
What was the final score of that? Like something like 20-3 or something?
30-3.
30-3.
Bad game, yes.
Yeah.
But a bad game should get 100,000 on any channel for the Big 12.
You would hope so, but
you think there's SEC games cutting 50s?
No. Yeah. I bet there's
Baylor has zero juice right now.
Zero.
How
many people do you think would watch Rutgers Northwestern though?
Oh, the Big Ten certainly has some of those games, and you can see those
or
up and down.
Cal against any other middling ACC school.
I mean, Kent State Ball State on Wednesday night ESPNU outdrew it. Delaware State Morgan State on Friday night outdrew it. Air Force San Jose State Saturday 6 o'clock FS1 tripled it. UNLV Colorado State 9:30 FS1 tripled it.
Seems like Baylor needs to go find them a exciting head coach and hire him. They've got the money, right?
Maryland Rutgers 2:30 FS1 5 times as much.
I'm going to be honest though, if Sawyer Robertson wasn't the quarterback for Baylor, I don't think I would watch them play.
No. I'm tuning into as much Big 12 football as I can.
Yeah.
Didn't watch a single second of UCF Baylor.
And UCF doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form. That's not going to draw me at all.
No. All right. Lucas, let's do some burning questions here before we get to a tiny wheel at 10:45.
2 minutes of non-stop in-your-face inquiries with no end in sight.
That's what I said.
It's time for Burning Questions.
Think of all the movies you've ever seen.
Okay.
I know it's a lot, trust me. But which actor and his or hers given role absolutely just knocked it out of the park? Like, there is no compare. Like, you could not have replaced that individual with anybody else because they did such a tremendous job in their role in their movie that they were in.
Oh my gosh.
So the one that jumps off immediately is always The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, the Joker.
Yeah.
But do you know a movie that I really wanted a sequel to that I don't know that anybody else has ever watched that I thought was just perfectly casted? And some of it is the co-star turned into a cannibal. But have you ever seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Not the TV show, the movie remake.
Not the movie remake, no.
So it's Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer.
Yep.
Those two guys together were like perfectly casted for their roles. And I don't know if it would have been a good movie at all without them. I think it's Guy Ritchie, which I really like Guy Ritchie anyways. But I have I would put that in there with Henry Cavill as the nonchalant CIA agent and Armie Hammer as the Russian hardo.
Armie Hammer's just so dry coming from me.
Right, it fit that movie.
Yeah. Man.
Another Armie Hammer movie, I thought The Social Network was really well casted. And I don't know that anybody could have played Zuckerberg like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. Did you see the interview? He was doing something for Catch Me If You Can, and one of the morning shows asked him about why he turned down The Social Network too, and he basically like stonewalled him and was like, because I'm doing another movie that we're here to talk about right now. And
They're making another social network?
No, he turned it down, apparently. Yeah.
So they're not making it?
They're not making it.
Okay.
No.
They only would have made it with him?
That's what I gathered from it. But yeah, he did not want to talk about that at all for some reason.
Interesting.
I don't know that I have a great answer here. I think Robin Williams was good in Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
Just like he seemed like the right person for that role, kind of a...
What about Brad Pitt and Edward Norton in Fight Club?
You know what? I'm not joking. Brad Pitt was the other one in my head from Fight Club. Those were the two, because he just fits that role to a T. And Edward Norton in that, yes, but also Edward Norton in Primal Fear was pretty, right? That's the one where he's with Richard Gere in it. That's a pretty solid,
yeah.
Is that what I'm talking about?
What about John Malkovich in Rounders? Nobody else could have done that.
Nobody would have tried to have done it that way. No.
All right, what else you got, Lucas? That's a good question. Give us yours on the chat line.
So, A.J. Brown said in maybe an interview or whatever that if he's on your fantasy football team, to get rid of him.
He does not seem happy in Philadelphia.
No. What my question is, obviously he was really good in Tennessee, right? Who is a player that was really good at one team and then either got traded or signed with somebody else and just had a tremendous downfall in productivity, I would say? Because A.J. Brown, obviously, he was up here in Tennessee and then definitely declined in Philly.
I'm trying to think of guys like at their peak and stayed healthy and didn't catch charges off the field, because obviously like Deshaun Watson comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the same kind of thing.
No.
Like, did DeAndre Hopkins
That's a good
in
one.
Arizona, did he ever reach what he was doing in Houston?
No, except for like one catch.
Bullfighter says Cooper Kupp. I feel like he's just not healthy.
He's just old. I think he's, yeah.
I think he was already declining in Los Angeles. And Seattle's good. Has Cooper Kupp not been good in Seattle?
I think he left that last game. You know, he's always hurt.
This section says DeMarco Murray.
I think, that was called run into the ground. Is what that was called.
Dude, the Cowboys ran him like 500 times because they weren't going to re-sign him.
Yep.
All right. More after this. We've got some actors here, too.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. Some really, really good actors listed on the chat line. Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I don't think...
Literally no one else could have done that. That is very true.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade. Justin Trudeau. Costner in Bull Durham. Costner in Tin Cup. I think of the two, I would say Tin Cup fit him perfectly, but he was great in Bull Durham too. Jack Nicholson in The Departed. That's a great one. Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade. Mm-hmm. Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Heard it both ways. Is another great one. Pacino in Scent of a Woman. Hooah! And then this texture says, thank God our coach has the football team treating the opponent with respect. Remember when Baylor was good, their players were scum of the earth, and come to find out off the field as well.
Kudos, by the way.
Kudos.
That was really confusing at first when I read it, because there was a Curtis that coached there, at some point. So I was really confused by that. Because it says Curtis to coach for that instead of kudos.
Oh, I thought somebody else was just saying kudos.
No, he would. I think that's supposed to say
I didn't read
kudos to coach.
I didn't read the last line because I didn't know what that meant.
That's why I was like, because Kevin Curtis was a
Right.
coach there, and I was like, but not during that.
Yeah, more recently than that.
Yes.
Any word on colors for the game or get I?
Maybe you shouldn't drink so much coffee before a show.
I can't read.
Heath Leather.
Any word on colors for the game or got a free dress game this week? It doesn't look. That was a hard read, anyways.
Yes, it was.
And I don't know what is free dress. What is that?
You can wear whatever you want.
Okay.
It's senior day, right?
Yeah, it's senior night. I don't believe it's any kind of red out or white out or anything.
Dress up as old people.
I don't think it's one of those either.
You know how you did in elementary
Right.
school. Everybody
Yeah.
puts
No,
a little
I know
gray
what
in
you
their
meant.
hair.
It's not crazy hair day or anything. I think they leave that for the basketball students. No, I have not seen. I could be speaking out of turn. I have not seen a red out or white out or anything like that.
No, I have not.
A couple of deep breaths here. So
I thought the stripe out was pretty solid.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it looked great.
I thought the first one, when they really went into it, was that last year? I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
The photos of the stripe out this year and the TV shots were really good. And I thought it would look a little weird on the east side with the students all wearing red, but the stripes above them, like you couldn't even really tell that there was a whole section of red out of place.
Yeah.
It just looked like it was planned, which it was.
It was.
Also, the towels in the student section are really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's become a thing this year, and I think it will be I think that's like the new norm. I think Joey likes the towels.
It's a good call. If you got the towels in your hand, you can't be throwing anything else.
Right.
Towel in one hand, drink in the other.
And for a lot of them, I think it's a towel in one hand and also a drink in that hand and also a drink in the
The
other.
other hand. One bottle of water.
And maybe one sitting in front of you, too. All right. Another day, another week, another spin for me. We'll go to the picks. Very close week this week. Nobody ran away with it. Collier finishes 7-4.
I'd like to thank everybody for the victory.
The
Couldn't
Pepsi
have done it by
Man
myself.
also finishes 7-4.
Oh, I didn't win.
Collier with the closer Bear Bachmeyer rushing yards. So you are technically the winner. But tying with Pepsi Man at the top. Craig Man, 6-5. Lucas, 6-5. And I was the closest on the tiebreaker, but nobody tied with me. So I'm just the loser at 5-6. And it was the Iowa Island that got me. If Iowa could have just held on. Home dogs, man. You trust the home dog one too many times. And that's what got me. La Tech was the only game this week that everyone lost. Everyone hit Tech. Everyone hit A&M. Everyone hit Houston. Everyone hit FAU. And then we had the Texans Island that was really my savings grace, or else I would have lost by more. So that does put me on the wheel. And I'm just realizing now that we've gotten to the tiny wheel,
There's
and started
nothing on
this
it.
segment. Well, no, there's just 2 things left. I've done everything else that I put on my tiny wheel to start the season.
There were 18 things on it at the beginning.
I know,
of
that's
the year,
what I'm
too.
saying. So, should I just spin between these 2 things and then clean the wheel?
I think A.J. Brown says you shouldn't spin that wheel. You should just trade it.
Well, there is an A.J. Brown thing
I know,
on the
that's
wheel.
why I said
yeah,
that,
that's
yes.
so. Do I need to read Inner Excellence and report back?
I don't wish that upon anybody.
And then the other one is, well, we still have Your Mom Makes Your Picks.
Yeah.
So
I think you should.
I can leave that one on there.
Yeah.
But she might be better than me.
That's true. Well.
And then there's the no solid food.
I don't want that one for you because I might have to host for a week because of that.
No, I'll survive. So if we're good, I'll just spin these 3 and then try to clear the wheel. Well, try not to clear the wheel, but get closer and closer to just clearing my wheel of 10 things to do.
How's your rat tail going?
It's growing. It's growing well, actually.
You know it's going to look so bad whenever you get it cut. You're going to have all this nice, I want it boxed in the back. I want like a 1.
I'll do that this week.
Okay.
I'll do that this week. I just wanted it long enough to look like a rat tail before I cut a patch in the back of my head. But I think it's long enough now after a couple of more weeks of growth.
Yeah.
We also need to, we totally whiffed on giving Bullfighter an actual sign to take to game day.
We did.
Totally whiffed on that.
It's amazing how he skipped over having to do that.
So we also need to assign, and maybe that's just our fault and Bullfighter gets away with one. We also never assigned Poncho a punishment, but I'm not as concerned about the caller's punishments.
Yeah, as
ours.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to spin these 3, and the mom one is certainly the.
Does she have to call in and do it, or does she just go with
make her call in?
That would be a punishment for her.
No, I'll just. Maybe I'll
Scout's honor here.
Have some audio.
Actually, I want her.
Bring some audio.
Okay. They'll be coaching her up.
Are we good for this?
Actually,
spin?
go ahead and coach her up.
Yes. We go for this spin?
Let's do the spin.
Spinning.
Well, at least it's off the board.
After 2 years on the board, I will be reading Inner Excellence this week and reporting back next week. This is the book that A.J. Brown was reading in the playoff run last year. I actually bought the audiobook in preparation last year, so I'll finally get to download that and start listening to it.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It's the End of the Bench. Sorry, I just saw a BYU fan. I can't tell if he's got a homemade Cosmo the Cougar costuming in the bowels of the Jones with a Bachmeier jersey, or if this is like a bear costume. Either way, I had not seen that before. I was trying to go back to the Texas Tech Illinois game quickly here. If I just read you some stats without the score and ask you to say who won the game, I think I could paint a picture of Texas Tech being much better than Illinois last night.
Okay.
Now, obviously it's cherry picking some stats and otherwise, but let me just take you through it, okay? Shots on goal, 64-59. You made 34 of them. They made 29. Field goal percentage, 53-49%. That's Texas Tech's the first number.
Okay.
Free 3-point percentage, both at or below 30%, but you made 6 of 22. They made 7 of 22.
They made 7 in the first half.
Right. Did not make a 3-pointer in the second half. Yeah. Rebounds, they out-rebounded you by 4. You had the same amount of defensive rebounds. They had 11 offensive rebounds. You had 7. I was shocked by this number, by the way, because going into it, their offensive rebound rate was insane through the first 2 games. Insane. They are very good at that.
Yeah.
So I thought you performed well on the boards, especially without Bamboy. And a lot of that, obviously, is JT Toppin. Mm-hmm. He's pretty good at rebounding. You had 20 assists. They had 5.
Wow. That is kind of surprising.
Now, a lot of that is them creating their own shots and getting into the lane.
Yes.
Steals, 7 to 6. So you read all those and you're like, wow, Texas Tech was really competitive, right?
I got one stat that I want you to read for me.
Well, is it about free throws?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So here's the one that changes all the calculuses. They attempted 23 free throws, made 16. You attempted 4 and made 3.
Now, see, if you would have just said, if you would have added into those other stats, you were 75% from the free throw line, and they were.
Right. Much worse. Now, I am generally on the foul discrepancy stuff. I generally watch a game and say, well, the other team was just more aggressive getting to the hoop. And I don't side with the officials, but it's like, well, your team should have been more aggressive, especially when I'm watching Texas Tech in the Big 12, and it's like you're playing West Virginia, and they've got 10 or 15 more free throws than you. It's like, well, they were driving to the basket all night.
Yeah.
You had 52 points in the paint and drew 2 fouls?
On some of those, he got to the basket pretty easy. I mean, and I heard Brad Underwood after the game basically say, we were going to let JT Toppin beat us as long as they didn't hit threes.
Well, that's the blueprint for Texas Tech.
Yeah.
He had, 35?
Yeah. But I mean, some of those were really easy in the paint for him.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it was him. I'm just saying, like, did they say, hey, if he gets by you a little bit, don't foul, let him get his 2, and we'll go down and... It
just seemed like there was similar contact on both sides.
I agree, yeah.
And yes, JT Toppin points in the paint are hook shots and not at the rim. But there was one in particular where he goes up and dunks hard, and there was a ton of contact on the way up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if the Stojakovic buckets are contact, continuation, and buckets with free throws, how are some of those not?
Yeah.
So, again, generally I don't like to, after a game, say, well, the free throw discrepancy was just the officials being biased and all that kind of stuff. And some of it is explained by JT Toppin just avoiding contact on a lot of those shots in the paint. But it is striking, the difference that you had last night in the free throws, and obviously the difference in the game. Now, there were a lot of other things that you could have done better to win that game. And I don't think that Grant McCasland was crying on the plane home about the officiating as much as his team missing opportunities on open shots and otherwise. And he said it as much in the postgame that, hey, we have a good team. We just got to practice and move forward. And that he's going to have some regrets on what his team did, not what the officials did.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like the beginning of last year. It seems like, and he's going to say it, I think, until they've actually had time to work together. You don't know what this team is right now, and you lost by, 4 points, 3 points.
I'd like to see a little more from Petty and Groves. So far, Tyree Bryan has not been what you expected him to be.
But again,
he was bad last night.
Yes, that was his worst game in 3 games as a Red Raider. Petty and Groves, 3 games as college athletes.
And as a scorer, Christian Anderson was not at his best. But I thought that was one of his best games facilitating. And I actually thought Jalen Petty was he played hard on the defensive side. They kind of brought him in as the defensive stopper for a while. But I was like overly impressed with JT Toppin and Lawan Watts. I did not get to watch the same Houston game I was calling high school football. So that was my first experience with Lawan Watts. That guy is good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for him. And just in the huddle, he looks like a vocal leader.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you really had that last year. And I don't expect Christian Anderson to be that. And JT Toppin is not that for sure.
No.
So if Lawan Watts is that guy on the floor, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I think if that's his goal and he's pointing people and he's a floor general, it seems like I was just with everything I think you struggled with last night, I came away impressed and encouraged more so than frustrated by losing to Illinois on the road in the third game of the season. I think this team is really good. They were just better last night.
Again, you were playing a top 15 team on the road at their place in what, like you said, was a March type of atmosphere in the third game of the season, stuff that you don't usually get. Because when you're playing these teams in the Bahamas or whatever, it's family members in the stands and some random people that I guess decided they didn't want to be out in the sun for a little bit, right? I mean, there's no comparison. It's relaxed atmosphere whenever you're doing these neutral site games for the most part, especially those holiday ones like that. But no, you have tape, you have stuff to work on. You're still not at full strength, and maybe Bamboye does alter shots in the post. Maybe Stojakovic gets a shot blocked and he doesn't drive to the bucket as much. It changes everything.
I cannot wait for that potential Purdue game. That's another opportunity. And is it Wake Forest that's on your schedule? And they took Michigan to overtime last night?
Mm-hmm.
And Duke is playing well? And LSU and Arkansas? Like, I am just jazzed about this basketball non-conference schedule. Obviously, conference play as well. More after this, 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It's the End of the Bench. This texter, when I said I was jazzed about Texas Tech basketball's schedule, says, you won't be jazzed if we lose to all those teams. You don't know what jazzes me. You don't know what gets me jazzed. But no, probably not. I also don't think you'll lose to all of them. And Breaux had 44 last night, I think. That's from Mr. B. Her teammate, Ari Johnson, is signing with North Texas today, too.
Yep.
That's cool.
North Texas with a couple of football team has Bryce Garza from Friendship getting a little West Texas.
Nice.
With the
also, yeah, the number that we didn't get to that was a big difference in that game was the points. So the turnovers were similar, but they dominated the points after turnovers. I think at halftime it was like 20-4 or something, or at some point in the game. They were certainly getting to the basket after the turnovers. And yeah, that was, and you lost by 4. Like you had that free throw discrepancy and that points off turnovers discrepancy, and you lost by 4. And they were missing their best player coming into the year. I don't know that he will be by the end of the year. What they think is his best player.
Yeah.
And you were missing a rim protector, and they got to the rim efficiently with no recourse at times in the second half. This texter says, Tech's stadium renovation is beautiful, but can you believe the Northwestern Ryan Stadium only seats 35,000, but with the most expensive stadium to date at $862 million?
Part of that's location, though, right?
Surely, have you seen the? I mean, it's one of those.
Why does Northwestern need that?
Look.
I like their current stadium, the one that's like right by the
It's
lake.
awesome, and it sits 15 maybe.
Yeah, that temporary one that's right off the water.
Look. It's going to be high tech. It's going to be expensive. But there's a reason that even in the Big Ten, they're building a 35,000 seat stadium. It's like Baylor building a 7,500 seat basketball arena.
Yeah.
What's the enrollment at Northwestern? I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like, they're not... But they're old, right? They have alumni.
20,000?
22,000.
Their enrollment is 22,000, and they're building a 35... See, I don't know. It's fine. It looks really cool. It's going to be a big bowl. I don't know. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. I would prefer to have the Jones. Bullfighter says, I know what gets you jazzed. It's Taj's quads. Y'all really love that bit, don't you?
Who?
The Royal Y'all.
Oh, okay. I never used that.
Okay. All right. You can get your questions in on the 8's Flooring Center chat line. I'm going to steal a Choice Woodman bit. You ready?
Yeah.
David, did you know? Give you some facts of the day here. I always enjoy the Big 12 press release. I think they put some good stuff on it. There's always some, obviously with Texas Tech doing so well, some Texas Tech stats. The Big 12 has 4 teams in the top 25 of this week's college football playoff rankings. Texas Tech at 6, BYU 12, Utah 13, and Cincinnati, who is sitting at 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Through week 11 of the season, 9 Big 12 programs are bowl eligible, and 2 more are 1 win away, and I think 2 more after that still have the potential to get to a bowl game. UCF, probably the most unlikely, but I think they could finish 5 and 7. All 9 of Texas Tech's wins have been by 22 points or more this season, becoming the first Big 12 school to achieve that since 2009.
Who did that in 2009?
I would start with one particular team if I was going through and looking who it might be. There was a team that went to a national championship that season, and I would assume it was them.
Yeah.
But it also could be the other one.
Yeah.
But I would assume it's one of the two.
You just don't want to say those.
Yeah, it was Texas or Oklahoma, probably.
Yeah.
Utah and Texas Tech lead all FBS teams with 6 or more wins in the margin of victory of 36.4 and 33.2 points per game, respectively. That is with the FCS games in there. If you take the FCS game out, I believe Indiana has the biggest margin of victory. And then Texas Tech is right behind him with Utah. If you just look at Big 12 wins, of course, Utah's 4-2, Texas Tech 6-1. If you just go to Big 12 wins, Texas Tech's margin of victory is like 27, but Utah's is like 36 in their 4 wins.
Mm-hmm.
They just so happened to lose to Texas Tech and BYU. I feel like they wish they could get another shot at both.
Yeah, they could.
I don't think they will.
They could.
We'll see. Rob does have a full-on man crush on Taj's calves. And Bullfighter says it's not a bit. No, it's a bit for you guys. It's a life for me. And it's not calves, and it's not just Taj.
You can tell a lot about an athlete and his power running by what their quads look like. It's not unreasonable to look at a running back's quads and say that guy looks like an athlete. Did you hear Kirk Herbstreit talking about Bear Bachmeier's lower half?
I did not.
It's like, this guy weighs 260 pounds, and a lot of that's in the lower half, if you know what I mean. It's like, now Kirk Herbstreit can say that, but I can't talk about another man's quads in an athletic sense without you guys being weird about it?
I'm not being weird about it. It sounds like you're very defensive here.
No.
He's looking at me while he says that.
No, I always look at you when I talk because it's
the royal
a
you.
It's just you're in front of me, Lucas. You gonna look in the camera? You. No, it really doesn't bother me. But it is a point of emphasis that it's quads and not calves.
Calves, yeah.
I am glad that we've all collectively moved on from thighs to quads. That is an important distinction for me. We're not looking at thighs here. It's quads.
You shouldn't have said that. Now a bullfighter's going to say thighs.
I've mentioned that before, and I feel like we've finally gotten past that. Oh, Shelly.
You're not a thigh guy?
Well, are we talking chicken? We talking turkey? Yeah, I'm a thigh guy. Prefer the dark meat. I will say, though, see, Shelly. There's Shelly on cue. Certified thigh guy. I told you. Her and Bobby Hot Dogs. No need to defend, Rob. You take jokes hard. You have revealed a full man crush on Herbie. Herbstreit? You like head, shoulders, knees, and thighs. More quad talk tomorrow, and it's going to be David Collier for a second straight day.
Whoa.
He's going to bring in his top 5 quads of college football in 2025 tomorrow. Choice Woodman, the bottom line up next.
Why would it just be top 4?
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.